νομίζω κάνει φοβερή δουλειά στην Ομόνια.
And we called taxi, and with Kilian, I opened the door behind, I put him in the taxi, and I closed the door, and I want to go inside, and Kilian go out.
You're gonna get someone messaging you afterwards saying, "Why did you mention me?"
Hey, fuck them.
She say, I cry because you are here today.
Πάμε να κάνουμε φτιάχνω αμπρεγά από μέσα.
Edo, no Chuff This podcast on the OLB. Yes, that's Cobelia. For those of you watching, like, subscribe, tell your NOUNA. Before I do the rest of the introduction, I'm going to bring in this guy, Rhodri. How you doing?
What's happening?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm right. You?
Yeah, well,
I'm
yes,
watching it. Is this Cypriot podcast? This one?
Yeah, you're on it. We're live.
If I say I've actually found a team you might beat, I'm not going to get my car bombed or anything like that.
No. You won't get your car bombed. I don't.
San Marino. I reckon you'd beat San Marino, Cyprus.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I think that's a team you'd beat.
Well, listen, they're 7-0 down against England at the moment, aren't they? I mean, Jesus Christ. Well, yeah, no, it's I'll talk about Cyprus in a minute. I was going to do a monologue. I didn't know what time you're gonna come on, but
you know, I'm only joking.
I know, man. I know. I
don't add to the list of people who are bombing the car.
No, mate. You know, to be honest, from what I understand, from what I gather, no one really gives a shit about the Cypriot national team. I mean, there's quite a few fans that give a shit, but nothing like the club teams. In Cyprus, it's completely different. It's not like in England where, you know, they'll sell out Wembley for even a friendly. In Cyprus, we actually get more away fans than home fans because first of all, the things have changed in Cyprus because of COVID. So, like, if you want to go to a game, you need to have what they call it's like a fan card. So it's like an ID card, but it basically shows that you've either been vaccinated or you've got you're COVID free, and then that enables you to. It's like a pass, and then you can buy your ticket. So there are a lot of people that don't want the vaccine, and there's a lot of people that just can't be asked to fucking go all the way to Nicosia to watch a shit national team.
How are you getting on with?
How am I getting on? What do you mean?
Yeah.
What, with the podcast? No,
with the
the Rona.
Yeah.
Oh right, no, I haven't mentioned that. No, I'm all right, to be honest. Yesterday I had shivers. I had a bit of a temperature, sore throat, headache. But then today it's just been like a normal cold. So like I've got a blocked nose.
And you've been double vaccinated.
Been double vaccinated, yeah. Now I don't know whether that has a big part to play. I hope it does. But I'm not going to lie to you, man. Since I had the vaccine, I've been getting more and more injuries at the gym. I don't know if that's just a coincidence, but
what do you mean? You mean niggly injuries?
Yeah.
And you never got them before?
No, it was very rare. It was very rare.
Getting old as well, so you got to put that into.
I know, man, but I don't know.
No one knows your body more than yourself, so
yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I've also heard there's a guy called Simon Brundish, who's a Liverpool fan on social media, and he's all into strength and conditioning. And he was talking about this female footballer that he was training, and fit as a fiddle. Then she was double jabbed, and all of a sudden she just came up with a ruptured ACL, just like running. You know. Now again, it could be a coincidence. It could be just nothing, but it's a bit bizarre. I mean, have you been jabbed?
No.
You haven't, no?
No.
Is that just our principle, or you just don't trust it? Or
no. It's not for me.
Mate, do you know what?
Give me 3 or 4 years down the line when we know the after effects and we know a bit more science on it, then I'm all in.
Yeah.
But I don't really go in crowds. I still wear my mask where I need to wear my mask. I eat fruit, vegetable. I try and exercise daily. So I'm going down that route. Yeah. So no, not for me.
See, this is the thing. Like when I was out on holiday in Cyprus, I made it my thing not to just eat rubbish. Do you know what I mean? Because when you're on holiday, you tend to like go overboard, so to speak.
Yeah,
But I
you're
was
on
really
holiday.
disciplined. Yeah, but I was disciplined, and I came back and I stuck to it. So I reduced my coffee. I just drinking mostly lemon tea, most of that.
Yeah, but sometimes when you go to places like Cyprus, you get a better fruit, better, you get better stuff over there sometimes. It's good for you.
And the heat makes you not want to eat anyway.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, the heat. Yeah.
But it's all good, man. But since I've been back, I've stuck to my diet. And I think another reason why this COVID hasn't hit me so hard is because I haven't been eating shit and I've just been looking after myself. I think that plays a big part, in all fairness.
I think it does attack people who are overweight, doesn't it? It does attack people who are overweight.
Yeah, well, I guess that's a good sign. I think I'm all right in that respect then, in all fairness. But yeah, nice. It's a weird one because my daughter had it. In fact, my daughter still got it, technically. Because she got it she started getting the symptoms Wednesday night. And then Thursday, Friday, she was pretty bad. But today and yesterday, she's been all right. So, again, I don't know what...
Kids just fight through it, don't they? She obviously got a strong immune system. My sister's got it this morning. She texted me saying she's tested positive. So
was she older than you or younger than you?
She's 29 or 28, 29, 28.
She's still relatively young then.
Yeah.
And
she's been double vaccinated though.
Has she been all right with it?
Yeah, well, she said she tested positive today.
Right.
Didn't feel great yesterday. She just feels a bit better today. But she tested positive. So I'm going down there tomorrow. I'm going down there tomorrow for a funeral. My auntie died a couple of weeks ago, so she can't go now. Jesus.
Well, I was meant to go to a funeral today. I was meant to go to one today. Do you remember? You must remember him, Chig.
Chig. Yeah.
It was his funeral today, and it was only about half an hour for me, but I was raring to go, obviously, and then I got the positive result literally this morning. I was like, I can't fucking go. So that I'm gutted about that because I wanted to be there. I mean, fortunately, the cemetery ain't too far away, so I'll go when I'm all right to leave the house, so to speak. But when it's someone that you give a shit about, and then something like this holds you back, it's not as if like work called me, oh, you need to come in last minute or whatever.
Yeah, it's rough. Like Will's dad died right in the middle of it, and like only like 10 people could go in the church. Yeah, it's rough. I remember you had to stand on the street while the car went past. It was just, it was rough.
Yeah, it's not great. But I don't know, where shall we get started with this football, man? Because I don't think there's any real point in discussing England because they've just coasted the last two games. So
we can discuss what people have been talking about. I don't know what Gabby Angleball was on about, bullying and Asian Durham. What let's start there.
Right. Okay. So let me give people some perspective in case they don't know. Harry Maguire scored against Albania. He celebrated by cupping his ears to the fans. And Roy Keane basically said, he's a disgrace. You shouldn't be doing stuff like that. I mean, focus on your club career. You've had a dreadful season so far. And he basically battered him on live TV. And then Gabby Bonlahor went on TalkSport to say that was bullying. Bullying. Can you believe it? Bullying. Now, for me, that's just Roy Keane being Roy Keane. And that's normal, right? You're gonna say it like it is. What's the issue here?
Yeah, exactly. When you're a footballer, you've got to take praise and criticism, and he's got to take it on the chin. He's not an ordinary person saying it. He's an ex-Manchester United, a successful ex-Manchester United captain who's not frightened to get talking his mind. Disgrace. He could have chosen his literature a bit better, but that's Roy Keane. You don't. It's not bullying, is it? People are fine to accept the praise, but as soon as a bit of criticism come along, it's bullying. It's pathetic. he knows it was wrong and probably thought, I wish I didn't do that, because he didn't do it today. You know, he's obviously waved to his people in his crowd. You know, good on him, but you know, he shouldn't have done it. You know, we're not. His poor, his form for Manchester United has been poor, but you know that's probably because you know Ole Gunnar Solskjaer probably wanted him to play, and he wasn't fully fit, and he's not the type of guy that can come out of injury. And you know he's a heavy guy. He needs to get match fit. He needs to get up to speed, and to come in your first game against Jamie Vardy, who's you know rapid and just hassles you for 90 minutes, was probably a bad game to come back to. And it's just snowballed from there. And he's just not had a great start. But I'm not going to, you know, people have bad dips in their career. You don't lambast him. You tell him some home truths. Roy Keane's probably a bit over the top. But cupping your ears against scoring against the team against Albania, you know, you just ask him for criticism. Score the goal, give it old fist, and you know, just go back and get your form right. So when you go back to Manchester United, you go back to when he was playing well for us and all them games you played consistently. So he's just going through a bad time. And, you know, some fans will slag him off. Oh, he's a waste of money, he's this and that. That comes with the territory when you sign for Manchester United for £8 million.
Why do you think then he plays better for England than he does for Man United? Because this is a fact, isn't it? He plays better for England than he does United.
Well, there's a number of facts. You know, you're not playing against Albania every week. There's one.
We had the good Euros.
Yeah, mate, he had a good year last year. He played all season, didn't miss a game, arguably made us better, you know, more solid. You just needed someone, you know, with a bit of pace next to him. You've kind of got that now with Varane, but then he's got injured. So you're back to the old Lindelof. They're kind of the same. So, and you need someone better than that next to him, especially when he's struggling. You know, so I don't think he plays better when he plays for England. I just think, like I say, he's going through a bad dip. And probably because he's not fully fit. Going away for England, getting your confidence, playing well. That can only bode well for Manchester United, that.
Well, Tyrone Mings has just grabbed an 8th for England. If Tyrone Mings can score against San Marino, I'm pretty sure Cyprus can do that as well. So,
mate, come on, the San Marino, the Whipping Boys, have never won a game ever. So, you know,
do you remember when they scored after 2 minutes? Do you remember they scored after 2 minutes against England back in 90?
Yeah, Stuart Pearce, yeah.
3? To 93. Stuart Pearce's back pass, Jesus Christ. And they still ended up winning that game like 7-1 or something like that. But,
yeah, you could give them a 3-0 start and you'd still beat them.
Fair enough.
It's just, they're just you know, like I say, they should be lit. It's hard to say that they shouldn't be in there, but, you know, it's difficult, isn't it, for them?
The thing is, if you look at their group, I mean, they had Poland, Albania, Hungary, Andorra, and San Marino, and they've topped the group. They haven't lost the game. To be honest, mate, you know as well as I do, qualifiers don't really mean anything when it comes to the grand scheme of things, does it? It gets you to that main stage, but you might get a few injuries before the tournament. And we've seen a lot of teams coast their group, but absolutely flop in the World Cup. But this is a big World Cup for England, isn't it? We saw them get to the semi-finals last time. They got to the final of the Euros. I'm not going to ask if they can win it because we're going to hear all of that in England anyway with the whole Three Lions bullshit. But do you think they're good enough?
Great. I can't wait for that It's Coming Home song again.
Because when you look at all the other nations around in Europe, apart from Germany, possibly France, I can't really think of anyone else that can... I can challenge for you.
I can't get my head around that it's going to be in like November.
It's the weather, mate.
Like
it's the weather in Qatar.
It's going to be ending, and it's going to be Christmas. It's going to be weird.
It's never happened before, isn't it? It's never happened before. I guess the only...
It's amazing what you do when you've got a truck full of money, isn't it?
That's it. That's it. To be fair, it wouldn't surprise me if an African team does well because they're mostly used to these tournaments being at this time of year. I think the African Nations is in January. I know it might not go ahead this year, well, 2022. But, you know, they're used to that kind of change, aren't they?
Well, you look at, like you say, the usual suspects, Italy, France, but England are definitely in there. You know, you've got the players like Smith Rowe will be a year on from this year. Jude Bellingham looks a real good player. Your Mason Greenwood will be a year on. So they've got some real good young players. Foden will have a year's experience. So who knows where Harry Kane will be. So there's they'll definitely be up there, especially getting to the final of the Euros. So yeah, they've definitely got a chance. We've seen it before in the group stage. I mean, in the qualifiers, they always stroll it. It's what you do when you get to the finals, and since Gareth Southgate's been charged, they've done pretty well.
Absolutely. All right, I'm going to quickly talk about Cyprus here because we got smashed 6-0 by Russia, right? Now, the scoreline didn't surprise me because they walloped us at home. I think it was 4-0. But when I look at the Cypriot national team, obviously, Rod, you don't know any of these players, but you saw the goals conceded against Russia. We spoke about the fourth, and it smacked of match fixing. Now, I'm not suggesting that it happened in this particular game, even though it's been known to happen in Cypriot league games. But when you see the standard of defending by a team that effectively had 5 at the back, what did you make of it? Obviously, you don't know any of the players. So when you saw it firsthand, what did you think? Honestly, you be honest, be as brutal as you want as well, man.
It's just poor. It's poor, isn't it? You're just open to this kind of criticism when you see that kind of stuff.
That's it.
That's it. For international players, that shouldn't be happening. So this is why you're saying the stuff that why else would that? International players. I do joke about the Cyprus League, but it is a very competitive league, and that stuff doesn't happen on a weekly basis in the Cyprus League. So why is it happening against a team like Russia? And 6-0, it's just, it's just like I say, it's open to questions, and it's not good, is it?
The thing is that the most disappointing thing for me, Rod, is I've seen this national team, and I've seen the players that are in the squad. One of them plays for Standard Liège in Belgium, which is a pretty decent level. He's a captain. We've got another player that left Cyprus to join a Portuguese side, and he's just come back from Portugal to join a team in Nicosia. There's a few players that are youngsters, and they've got so much talent. In fact, one of them is being lined up by Club Brugge in Belgium. He's very highly rated. And this summer, there was a change. In fact, even before the summer, there was a change in management. We had a Belgian head coach who coached the under-21s for Belgium, and he did remarkably well, got them to a certain level when a few of those players are playing for the Belgian national team. And because the results weren't great, they sacked him, and they brought in this dinosaur who, he insists on playing 5 at the back, and then when you're 4-0 down, he'll bring on 2 more defenders to tighten it up even more. It just doesn't make any fucking sense to me. I'm sitting thinking, the league is competitive. There are some decent young players. There are some. One player used to play for HIP. One player was in Atletico Madrid's academy, for fuck's sake. So one player was actually even at Juventus at one point. So we're looking at these players and we're thinking, what the fuck is going on? And the only thing I can say is it's just down to coaching. It's just down to that. It could be confidence, but it could be down to the coaching. Now, you've seen on numerous occasions clubs in England appoint dinosaur managers with archaic systems. If you got a team with some experienced players and some promising players, surely you want a head coach or just someone there that can give them that confidence to play football. Doesn't matter. We know we're going to get smacked, but why don't we just play a system that shows some positivity, that makes us want to win games? I mean, there are some people watching live. Maybe in the comments they can give us their views, or even get someone on to tell us what's going on with the Cypriot national team, just to give Rod a bit of a perspective as to what the fuck is going on. I don't understand it, man. I really don't.
Yeah, well, you see it all the time, like Mick McCarthy.
Upper World fans will thank you for that.
Pardon?
I said Upper World fans will thank you for that. He was there for 2 months and they sacked him after 4 losses on bounce.
Exactly. So you're bringing these managers in, and they're all set in the ways, and the game's moving forward. And they're just stuck in their own ways. But these managers keep getting jobs. And Mick McCarthy's gone to Cyprus, lasted 2 months, then come to Cardiff, and he's gone in within months again. So. But, these managers will still get jobs, and I just don't know why and how, because there's so many young, good, up-and-coming coaches out there that are not scared to play that expansive football that you're talking about. You know, yes, we're going to get beat, but we're going to get beat fighting and playing attractive, nice football. You know, some managers just, I don't want to get beat, so they go defensive, and you know, it's not enjoyable to play football when you're playing a team that's just solely just want to defend. You know, you don't kick a ball around in the garden to play football to just defend. You want to score and play attacking football. So yeah, it's a weird one because I don't know why these managers keep on getting jobs.
Yeah, I think this is his 11th job. I think the Cypriot national team is his 11th job, which it blows my mind. And then when I look at the under-21s, are doing pretty well. You know, it's like when they get called up to the national team for the first team, it's like they're fucked because they're just going to be told, "Oh, just sit back, get 10 men behind the ball."
Maybe under 21s, like I say, you've got a young, vibrant, exciting coach dealing with kids that are not frightened to express themselves, and you're getting the results. You know, when you go into the full national side, then it's probably a totally different experience.
Yeah, the thing is in Cyprus that when you hit 18, you've got to do, I think it's 18 months military service. So you're missing out effectively. Obviously they get special dispensation if they're footballers, but they have to go in and out of the army. But also some of them might be at university. So not only are they playing football, they're studying and they're doing the army service. So that could effectively hinder their progression as well.
It's a lot to take on that, especially at that kind of age when you're in that bracket of, you know, 18, 19. I know some players are ahead of others, but still you're in a key area there, a key time in your life where, you know, you're just getting better, and to be out for a year or year and a half it's not good for your career.
The thing is that they can play and they can train, so it's almost if it's a normal job for them, but they still need to spend a certain amount of time in the barracks and doing whatever they got to do. So that extra time.
If they train and play, it's still a lot to take on, though, isn't it? You know, when most footballers, or when I was playing football, you know, you go in at 9:15, you chill out, have a bit of banter in the change room, you get out the training pitch at 10:30, you're in the showers at 12 o'clock and home, eat a bit of lunch, and then you're home for 1 o'clock, 1:30. That's the normal day of a footballer. So yeah, it's to do that and then to do your army stuff as well. You know, it's a lot to take on.
England have scored the 9th and the 10th. Tammy Abraham and Bukayo Saka. So yeah, I think.
Well, they've had a man sent off. They've had a man sent off as well. So
have they?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Well, let's talk about your boys then. Wales. You got Belgium tomorrow, and you've done pretty well so far, haven't you, in this competition, especially in the qualifiers? No. Second place.
Seeing as though, you know, coming off a pretty good Euros after the managerial mess about, but Robert Page has come in and done a really good job, and yeah, you know, you need your big players, and Gareth Bale and Ramsey, you know, have turned up in the key moments, and all going well. We should really finish second. You know, I can't really see us winning the game tomorrow. It could happen, you know, especially without Gareth Bale. So, but it could happen, and if we do win the game, that'd be great. But I'm pretty sure if we draw, we're in. And I think Czech Republic are on the same points, or 3 points behind, but we're ahead in goal difference. But yeah, we just kind of need to get like a draw or a positive result.
But I think you're guaranteed a playoff place because of you top your Nations League groups. This is the other thing, the Nations League, because you top your group, you're guaranteed a playoff spot in the Euro, World Cup. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I think if some leagues as well, if you finish third in your league, you get into something, and I could be wrong with that, but no, all being well, it's been a good campaign, and you know, to get to a World Cup. I don't think we've been to a World Cup in
since when? 60? Was it 66? Was it? Would you guys even get to 66?
50 years ago. It's 50 years ago anyway, so that would be a massive achievement, and not get there will be a real body blow. But if you get in the playoffs, I'd fancy your chances. I know there's some difficult sides in there, in Portugal, but anyone else by Portugal, I'd fancy your chances, especially at home.
We spoke about the managerial situation a while back. Are you surprised it hasn't been sorted? Because Rob Page is still interim manager, and obviously a certain bloke is still waiting there to find a decision on whether he's going to lose his job or keep his job.
Well, it's obviously a tricky situation, isn't it? Because it's in the courts, and if it comes out to light in January where it comes out innocent and they've fired him, then they're probably up to getting sued or some legal action against them. So they've probably boxed smart and see the outcome and see what happens. Robert Page has done a really good job of the Euros. He obviously knows the players from being under 21s manager as well. So yeah, and being around the squad. So, but yeah, they're obviously seeing the outcome and see what happens January, and then they'll probably take it from there.
Well, look, let's say Ryan Giggs does get found innocent and he gets the job back for the Welsh national team. How do you think the players will react to this? Obviously, he was the guy originally to coach them, and then he's been away for a while. So, do you think he'll motivate the players now that, if he does return, that is?
Well, yeah, if it comes out to be innocent, and yeah, it's just back to normal. These footballers don't really get too involved with people's lives outside. It's what can you do for me on the training pitch, and he's been the catalyst to carry that good work that Gary Speed did and Chris Coleman did, and he's kept it going and blooded a lot of youngsters in, and that's why they've got such a good squad now with a lot of young players. So yeah, it's you just have to see the outcome, but either one way he's going to have his job back. If it goes the other way, then he's probably going to lose his job.
Do you think Dan James has thrived now he's joined Leeds? He seems like a much more positive player than when he was at United.
See, people don't realise when they say the weight of playing at a club like Manchester United, and obviously Daniel James felt that weight, and it's not easy. It's a lot of pressure, and some people can handle it, and some people can't. And and sometimes you go to a football team, a football club, and it just doesn't fit. And he didn't do badly at Man United. Let's get it right. He did okay. He didn't do great, but he didn't do badly. And he's still young, and obviously Leeds fits the way they play fits in. He's fast, he's mobile, so it obviously works their system. But people don't seem to realise the weight of playing for clubs like a Manchester United, a Real Madrid, a Liverpool, a Barcelona. It comes with a lot of pressure because these clubs are historic clubs who, if you get beat, it's a turmoil. There's a problem, and some players can't deal with that pressure every week. It's too much for them.
Well, mate, with 2 minutes to go, Northern Ireland are holding Italy to a goalless draw, and Switzerland are 3-0 up against Bulgaria, which means as it stands, Switzerland will win the group and Italy will have to go through the playoffs. Now, that's a shock, isn't it?
Yeah. So you can imagine you could get Portugal and Italy in the playoffs. That could happen. So, yeah, but, Northern Ireland, Scotland, Republic of Ireland, Wales, they've all done well. Scotland, England, they've all done well this. Hopefully they all get there, because it'd be great for the UK if all 5 nations were there.
Do you know what? I'm not a big fan of international football, as you know, I've said it on numerous occasions. But what I will say, it's become more and more competitive now. Because before you could say, France, Germany, but then you can mention Belgium.
No, it has, but it is always because the Premier League is so good. But once the competition starts, and you get into it, don't you? You get the first couple of games out of the way, and then it really gets into it, and you get invested into it.
Fair enough. But what do you think it will mean for Italy then if they have to go through the playoffs? You're looking at a team that won the Euros, and now
if Italy have got to go through the playoffs, how can I put it? They'll be thinking Malacca.
Okay, fair enough. I don't know the Italian word for that. Actually, I think it's stronzo. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure, man. But yeah, Malaga, of course. Yeah, bunch of fucking Malagas. But what did you make of Portugal then? Portugal played played Serbia. I think all they needed was a draw to win the group. And 90th minute, ball comes in the box, and there's Mitrovic unmarked, gets the winner for Serbia. Serbia win the group. But I think what is quite, I shouldn't say funny, it's quite poetic that Portugal should have had a goal in Serbia when Ronaldo beat the goalkeeper. Ball was about a yard, or half a yard over the line, and they didn't have goal line technology. And had it not been for that, Portugal probably wouldn't have even had to have got a draw yesterday. Would have been
and they'll be kicking themselves because the last thing they don't want is FIFA or anyone is not having Ronaldo at your competition. So, it's a boo boo for the organisers not to have at least video. If they've not got goal line, that's jobless. You can go to the video, but they've obviously not got that either. This should be happening at World Cup qualifiers. It's just daft. If they're going to do it now, they need to do it all in. Can't do it just for the big teams. You have to do it. You can have it at Portugal, but we haven't got it here. It's just ridiculous. Like we talked about loads of times with the Sheffield United and Aston Villa event. It's happened once. It's never happened again.
Yeah. Do you think there's a chance that Portugal might be kind of given an easier playoff match just to balance it up a bit?
knowing FIFA, possibly.
Yeah. Well, Joe, there's a game tomorrow, Netherlands against Norway. Now, that probably might not mean much to anyone, but Netherlands have got 20 points, Turkey are on 18, and Norway are on 18. So this effectively is a must-win game for both teams because I can't see Turkey.
That'd be a good match, won't it? Van Dijk against the young kid.
Holland. I don't know if Holland's playing, though. Isn't he injured?
Or is he
Holland
injured?
actually play? I don't know. I really don't know.
That'd be a good match with them two, wouldn't it?
Yeah. But I think what makes it even more interesting is that Van Gaal, he fell off his bike and injured his hip. So he might not be on the bench.
He's a big old unit, him as well, isn't he? To fall off that bike. You know why? Because their bikes are massive and they have the seats dead high up. So they can't touch the floor when they ride the bike. We've seen them flying about, don't you? Have you been to Amsterdam?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all flying about. They're all bikes, they're all big bikes, and usually they haven't got brakes or anything. They're crazy over there.
Jesus. Yeah, well, they're into injury time now.
He's a big old unit. Imagine him falling on the concrete.
Well, we saw what he did against Arsenal, didn't it? When he was pretending to. Hang about. Have Ireland scored? Northern Ireland scored? Oh wait, hang about. I'm just watching the highlights on Sky. Hang about. No. They've almost scored. No, cleared off the line. Northern Ireland are going for this one. Fucking hell, it's all about no fear. Jesus.
Yeah, Northern Ireland have been decent of late.
Well, didn't they get a new manager before the campaign started? I can't remember. Not sure. Do you know what? I don't know if there's anything else to discuss when it comes to the World Cup qualifiers. I don't think there's anything else to mention. Is there anything else that's happened that I've missed? Greece is shit, but there's nothing new there. They're fucking turgid. Can't really think of anything else, in all fairness.
No.
See, this is what I'm talking about. My attention span goes down the fucking toilet when it goes to these qualifiers. In a way, I'm kind of glad they come and go because it gives me a weekend to do absolutely nothing. But at the same time, it's like I miss domestic football. Hey, what did you make of Gerrard getting the Villa job then?
I thought he was destined for Liverpool after Rangers. I thought, you go there, do another 2-3 years, do well with Rangers, and then, but, he's obviously, he wants to be in the Premier League and he wants to test himself. I have no doubt that he'll do well in there. How
do you think they'll do with Villa then? You're looking at a team that's conceded quite a lot.
I think he'll do well. But he's under pressure now. He's, they could easily get relegated. But I don't see that at all. I see him doing really, really well. I like Steven Gerrard. I've always liked Steven Gerrard as a player, and I've always liked what I see as a coach as well.
The thing is, now that Newcastle got a new manager, they're going to be looking to avoid the drop. And now Norwich got Dean Smith in, which came as a surprise to me because everyone was talking about possibly Frank Lampard getting the job. But Dean Smith, does that tell you that they're preparing for life in the Championship?
No, not necessarily, because it tells me that they want an experienced manager who's been in these situations. Frank Lampard's not been in this situation, so he's probably gone in there saying what funds have I got, what players can I bring in, and obviously you go off your coach off the interview that they have, and they obviously like Dean Smith better than they like Frank Lampard.
What can Dean Smith do to at least give Norwich a fighting chance of staying up? Because
I don't know. It's going to be a real difficult one because Aston Villa done a good job, but he had a £100 million player to his disposal. Norwich haven't got that, so yeah, it's going to be a tough job.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
he can. If you do get relegated, he's got experience down there, and Norwich have been a yo-yo kind of club. They seem to have not learned from their experiences, which, over the years we've seen clubs learn from their experiences and some teams that don't, So you just have to, but like I say, he's experienced enough. He's been in relegation fight where he's come out of it, and he's been in Championship where he's been promoted. So he's got experience in both, so it makes sense to me than Frank Lampard. I think Frank Lampard wants a job that that's get a bit of funds, you can get his own players in. Where Norwich they've got no money at all. This is what you got.
So can you imagine if he gets the Rangers job?
That's when you've got to be a really good coach, because you've got to make players better. You can't bring better players in. You've got to coach them.
Can you imagine if he gets the Rangers job, Lampard?
Yeah. It's difficult to follow Steven Gerrard because what he's done there has been brilliant. Look where they were when he took over, and look where he's left them. That's why you judge a manager when he leaves. What did he make us better? Well, they were in Division 1, now they're champions of the Premiership. So yes.
What about United then? Come on, we've got to talk about Man United now.
Do we have to?
There's talk about Ollie possibly getting the boot. First of all, let's talk about the protest.
That massive protest.
Let's talk about the protest. Yeah, there's some guy on social media. I'm not going to mention his name. He's got his own YouTube channel. He decided to set up a protest. First, it was meant to be an Ollie out protest, but then he made it a Glazer out protest. And so many people saying, we're going to come to this and yada, yada, yada. And then as it turns out, there must have been 30 people, if that.
And I might add 2 of them people had big Manchester United club bags. So they've just been shopping in the mega store.
Yeah. They're so anti-Glazers that they will put money in the Glazers' pockets, and they will wear the replica shirt while they're protesting against the Glazers.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
So it was just a sorry sight, wasn't it? Even the police turned up and they've gone, you know what? Just go home. We don't need to. Just leave them 2 there.
No threat whatsoever.
Like vans have turned up and they've gone, is it? Just keep them 2 bodies there. We'll off.
Well, they closed the club shop because that was a success for them. They got the club shop
after
closed.
they just spent all the dough in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just first of all, let's say it was an Ollie out protest and a Glazer out. That got pretty stamped on because, like I said before, they all would have got slapped who were singing Ollie out protest at Old Trafford. So yeah, that didn't happen. And then it was a Glazer out. Thousands going to turn up, and match going fans will always be superior over these fan cams because most of them have got burner accounts. They haven't got thousands of followers. They're just phantom followers, and pretty sad. But this is what the world we live in. Most of them, we've all been to Manchester United over the years. The people you've seen over the years, the Webbies, the O'Neills, the Andy Mittens, the Pete Boyles. They can go on. You don't see any of these flexes or whatever his name is, Plex, whatever, Saeed, whatever his name is. You don't see these people, and if you do, you probably see them being dramatic into a camera at Old Trafford when United are going 3 or 4-0 down. It's just a sorry sight. And the world we live in, for people to get paid these days, make these fan cams and earn money from it, because there's silly young people who feed these people, and yeah, we've seen it.
It makes you wonder where their viewers are. Do you know what I mean? It makes you wonder where in the world these people exist, because I know that most people who watch this are based in Cyprus. So at least I know that there's a core group of people that watch it from a specific place. But this guy in the UK, I know you've got rival fans or rival club fans that watch the channel just to see what stupidness these people can come up with. But I don't know where the rest of these followers are. I mean, that Troops guy, he's got a lot of followers in the United States. So is it a case that this guy's got the same sort of fan base? I don't know.
You can't put Troops in the same, because Troops he gets overexcited, but at least he's funny with it. These clowns are just they're not proper fans. He's Arsenal through and through. You don't see these people over the years. They've just come on the scene because there's a buck to be earned at Manchester United. You can do that. None of them have got one of them is from Old Trafford. The rest are nowhere near from Manchester. So yeah, it's like I say, there's a crowd of YouTubers that these people get a following. And most of them, they're all squares. They don't know the game of football if it hits them on the head. So
well, it helps when your uncle is Robbie from AFTV as well, doesn't it? Not saying too much about that, but
Well, no, yeah, because he's obviously given them a blueprint and he's run with it. But he's gone with Manchester United. But these people get ousted, but eventually. But it doesn't help when they're put on a platform of Sky Sports and yeah, there's a lot more better people to be put on telly that are proper Manchester. Andy Mittens is a very good reporter, a lifelong Manchester fan. They're the type of people. Maybe Pete Boyle as well, but he rubs people the wrong way sometimes. Yeah. So that's probably why.
I think Wayne Barton is brilliant. Wayne Barton is brilliant. He's been writing books about
Wayne as well. Wayne knows his stuff. O'Neill, but O'Neill's got a tricky pass. Webby, Webby's actually works for United as a security guard when I used to be going United, when I used to be going in the players' lounge. You used to always see Webby, doing security around the players and stuff. So and now he's got a very good podcast of O'Neill. These are match-going old United fans who home and away for years, for decades. Not Johnny-come-latelys from down south, who film on back streets because they no longer can do it outside Old Trafford.
Yeah. All right, well, let's talk about Oli then, mate. Another report today has come out. Apparently, Zidane is front runner to replace him. The bloke hasn't even lost his job. The bloke is still in charge of United. The other day, it was Brendan Rodgers is going to get the job, and he's looking for houses in Cheshire, even though he was doing that like a year ago anyway. So, first of all, do you think he's going to last the season, Solskjaer? That's the first question.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And then, unless they fall out from the top four, and they've got no hope of getting to the top four, then it's time to move on, because with this squad, he should be fighting for championships, and he's had 3 years now. So why prolong it? But at the minute, we're still in the Champions League. We've still got a chance. I know it's outside chance of the league, but you've still got hope. I know it's a big ask, but there's a long, long way to go yet. And things can turn around very, very quickly, and they need to. So it's probably a good time now to have a break. Some players have gone out, some players have stayed. The players that have gone out, hopefully they've gained that little bit of confidence, i.e. Harry Maguire. And comes back and takes that into the Manchester United. Mason Greenwood, Rashford up there, hit the ground running from having a nice rest and staying at Carrington. So, yeah, Ronaldo coming back. I know he's a disappointment with Portugal, but, Ronaldo's Ronaldo. You're going to get the same every week with him. Hopefully Cavani's back fit now, because he seems to pick a niggle up every now and again. But, we just need to get that win. Probably a good game to play, Watford. But, you still got to win these games, and since Claudio Ranieri's come in, he's picked it up a little bit, but still we should be going to place like Watford and winning, and then we've got like Chelsea and Arsenal coming up. So we need a couple of wins on our belt before we play them. But to get rid of him, no, like I say, unless we're out of the competitions, then there's no point keeping him for me. He's had 3 years now. It's a lot of money. He needs to compete in or at least winning something this year to even remotely keep his job.
So let's say United don't make top 4 then, and he loses his job, hypothetically speaking, right? There's so many questions I could ask about this, but the first one will be, who replaces him? Because as I mentioned before, Zidane has been earmarked for the job, but from what I understand, he doesn't speak a word of English. So is it just people putting two together because he coached Ronaldo and he coached Varane?
Yeah, it's Manchester United, so all big names going to be associated with him. We talked about it in a podcast a couple of days ago. If Ryan went in these situations he was in, his name would be with a shout as well, because he's done a very good job at Wales, plus his Manchester United connections. So his name would be touted, but obviously because of what's going on, it's not. So Brendan Rodgers, all the top coaches are going to be named. It's just there's not many out there now. With Conte going, Pochettino in Paris, there's not many top names out there. So why would they sack him? Who are they going to bring him in for? There's no point in sacking someone at the minute if you've got no one to replace him. So it can't be, give it Giggsy to the end of the season, or Carrick, or you're not going to put any of them in. They all look fucking incapable of doing what they're doing now. So to put them in the top job would be like deer in the headlights. So, you look at it now, he's made a few mistakes. He should have brought experienced coaches in. He's brought novice coaches in who, not very experienced. And I was nearly said not very good, but I can't really say that because I don't have the evidence to back that up. But being at Manchester United, you need experienced top coaches. The class of Alex Ferguson, he would bring in Archie Knox, Brian Kidd, Steve McLaren, Carlos Queiroz. The list goes on. So, and these are all top class coaches. And he's got, Michael Carrick, someone from fucking Vancouver, and some other geek from university. So
Mike Phelan.
Mike Phelan's a Twitter expert. He's not a coach.
Fair play.
This is what I'm saying. Top coaches, not failed managers at Hull City. He was good, but he was good because he was under Alex Ferguson, who was telling him what to do.
But the thing is, if you get a new manager, obviously he's going to bring in new backroom staff, and that means more money being spent. Now, from someone the other day, again, you can't.
Yeah, but mate, you're talking about pittance here now. You're talking about like 10 million quid or something.
No. But the thing is, the thing is that the mistake I make is reading social media and trying to delve into it a bit much. And someone put out a tweet the other day saying, "Oh, the only reason why Solskjaer hasn't been sacked yet is because Ed Woodward is leaving the club soon, and he doesn't want that to be on his copybook, so to speak, in the sense that, it's another managerial failure under Ed Woodward." I don't think Ed Woodward gives too much of a shit about that. Do you? I don't think he does.
You could look at it both ways, and then you could look at, then a new guy's going to come in and think, you know what, I'm cleaning. I'm not, he's lifting with a mess here. I'm going to put my marker down and get rid of him. So it could work both ways. But no, I don't think. Like I said, who are they going to bring in? Zidane, he's not. That's not going to work. You can't have like a Bielsa, someone who's not willing to talk English and have a interpret. Yeah. It just doesn't look right. Have respect. If you're going to go to someone else's country, learn the lingo. So,
well, the thing is, if you look at people talking about Pochettino, and I remember when he got the sack from Spurs, and then there was all these rumors about him getting the job before Oli got it full time, and I'm thinking, all right, he's gone to Paris Saint-Germain. He hasn't really done too much. So has his stock dipped now? You got to win the French league.
He's not really had long enough, has he? What's he been there? A year.
Yeah, about that.
He's been there a year. So see what happens this year if he wins the league and does well in the Champions League. He's got to do some of it. because he's got a world of talent, as a whole lot of talent and world class players to his disposal. So yeah, he's under pressure. But like I go back to, we're bringing coaches in here that they've never won anything. Pochettino, not won anything. Brendan Rodgers, not won anything. Zidane, okay, he's won everything, but he doesn't speak English, and I just don't see him fitting with Manchester United. I just don't.
All right, so what about Chelsea then, mate? Because I've seen Lukaku is back in training for them today, and they haven't missed him. They haven't missed him because they've won most of their games, haven't lost a game. But against Burnley at the weekend, they struggled to get goals. Now, for me, as his stats show, he's a this lethal striker. But does he need to do it in the big games? Because I haven't seen him really turn up against the Liverpools, against the Man Cities. Does he need to do that to cement himself as a world-class striker, or do the stats speak for themselves?
Well, no, the stats tell you that he doesn't perform against the big sides and against sides like Burnley and teams like that, he bullies. So, yeah, he's definitely got to show up. That's the problem with Manchester United. When he was at Manchester United, he was bullying all the other teams, scoring goals. When it comes to teams against the top six, he wouldn't score. And that's when you need your top players. Yeah, it's a problem when you're not scoring against a top six, because that's ultimately the mini league with Manchester City, Liverpool, and City. Whoever finishes top of that league will ultimately win the league, because all the others they dispose of, and it's just a mini league. Can you draw away from home and then win your home games against the City and the Liverpools? And like I say, it's when we were playing against Arsenal and back in the 90s, early 2000s, that's where they were so important, these games, because ultimately whoever won them games won the league. Fair
point. And we got a lot of Arsenal fans who watch this, and Liverpool fans, but Arsenal fans especially. And they've gone on upward trajectory, haven't they, under Arteta?
Yeah,
it's almost as if they've... No? You're not convinced?
I'm not so happy about saying I'd do that game with troops now. They're a live game when United play them. And
you're going to do it, yeah?
But they were playing shit when he asked me. Oh, yeah, we'll smash you. And then we've gone on a downward slip, and they're going like, oh. So, but yeah, it'd be good fun. And yeah, they've said it before. I like Arteta. He's a good coach. Difficult start with the 3 games he had. I know they should be beaten for Brentford, but I watched that game. Brentford played really, really well. First game in the Premier League, the place was bouncing, and they played really well, Brentford. So they probably also got them at a bad time.
So what's changed then? Because it seems that since Thomas Partey's come in from his injury and he's been match fit for this time, they seem to be more sturdy in the middle of the park. But I think Smith Rowe has really, really come on leaps and bounds.
Smith Rowe, the back four are playing better. We make jokes at Ramsdale, but he's been very good since he's come. So, but yeah, Smith Rowe, Aubameyang started to play. Like you say, Partey's a big part of it, and they're just getting better as a team. More you play, more you get comfortable with each other, and the better you'll get. And you see that with Arsenal. We're always going to see that they had quality, and like I say, they had a bad start, and that puts you at the bottom of the league after 3 or 4 games, and it's a big crisis, and rightly so, because it's Arsenal Football Club. Like I say, with these big teams lose games, it's a travesty, because we're not used to losing games. So, and Arsenal probably no different. So, yeah, it's
What's going on, lads?
Here we go. Goonies here. What's going on, Goosey? You right?
Better late than never, man.
Better late than never. Just when we're about to finish it, you jump on. That's all right, man. That's all right.
Yeah,
it's great to have you back on again, man. How's it going in NYC?
It's going great. I've just been on Super Dad duties again, but here I am with the lads. Rhodri, how are you doing, my friend?
What's happening? You right?
Yeah, man. Everything good. I'm looking at the England score, thinking, wow, go on, 10-0.
Yeah, they're playing a lot of barmen.
Who've just finished their shift.
Fucking, he just finished putting the sunlights out for the day.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. You got to take it into context, innit? Really, it is San Marino.
No, but they've done that's a real professional job, that, because that's what you should be doing to teams like that every time you play them, because they're part-time and you play in the Premier League. So
Yeah.
they're doing a real professional job there. So good on them.
You see what Germany did the other night?
You beat them 2-0, 3-0, or you should be beating them 8-0, 10-0. And then when you beat them,
Yeah, that's
7-0,
true. You do get
10-0.
that. You get that. You get them fans are going to be well.
Win.
Yeah.
You see Germany the other night?
I have, to be honest with you, I have a passionate dislike for this international break.
Thank
But
you.
but for the sake of this stream, I shall look at the scores.
Well, they beat Liechtenstein 9-0, right? And France beat Kazakhstan 8-0. So they just smashed these teams to pieces. But it's like what I was asking Rob before is, you look at the qualifiers and these teams end up top of the group. And when it comes to tournament mode, they disappoint. Like France, for example, when they got beaten by Switzerland in the Euros.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. But then, like, for me, it's just like, can we just get to like why is there so many breaks, man? We literally we're about to have a World Cup full of it. We've just had the Euros full of internationals. We just want our fucking club football back. Do you know what I mean? How fucking difficult is it? Am I allowed to swear like this on this podcast?
Of course, man.
All right, yeah, I'm not, just trying to make sure. But it just frustrates me that much. I'm just tired of seeing it. The Euro Nations League.
They're trying to cram it in because the Nations League, as we found out earlier, the Nations League, the standings or where teams finish has a bearing on whether or not they enter the playoffs in this World Cup qualifier. And the same thing happens with the Euros. So they're trying to cram everything in to make it more entertaining. But really and truly, they're just making it even more difficult. Thank fuck the next international break is in May.
Well, yeah.
That's till May now. That's good.
I think so, yeah.
But I mean, like Rhodri is crazy because to me, it's just like, do the UEFA or anybody not consider football players as human beings as well? Because I mean, you know better than I do. Like for a football player playing at that level, the amount of games that they're playing, and then to put international football on top of that, I mean, come on, man.
It's the traveling as well, Guni, that kills them. The traveling, it gets too much sometimes. And then you wonder why people are getting niggly injuries and picking up all these injuries because you're playing too many games.
It's all mad, man. It's all mad.
How many games? City last year played 60 odd games, and then you throw in 15. It's nearly 100 games in a year. It's a joke, that.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And they don't have much of a.
It's like one every 3.5 days. It's like what?
Yeah, they don't have much of a break after the tournaments, right? And then they have to go pre-season as well.
And then next year you're gonna have pre-season, season. Then you're gonna have a World Cup in November. Then you got to come back to the league, and how that's gonna work. It's gonna drag on longer. And then you've got Euros. Then the next summer, so it just keeps on going. Keeps going.
Well, boys, I wanted to talk quickly about Barcelona, right? Because Xavi's been given the job full time. He's replaced Ronald Koeman. But the first thing he's done is implement these 10 rules. Have you heard about this?
No, please enlighten me because this sounds fun.
Is it someone like no ketchup and shit like that?
No. Well, no. It's not David Moyes-esque. But when you hear him, okay, so basically he's got these 10 rules, and he's going to fine players who don't abide by them, right? So the first one is staff have to be 2 hours early to training, right? That's the first one. Players have to be 90 minutes early to training. Players must eat at the training ground. Players will be fined for breaking rules. Fine will be doubled for repeat offences. A curfew will be implemented 48 hours before a game. He says that the team is a meritocracy, so you get on ability and work rate, not who you know. So I don't know whether that means that was happening in the past.
Yeah.
Players' travel and off the field habits will be monitored. So kind of like Alex Ferguson stalking players. I'm sure Rod's got a few stories there.
This is all it's all standard stuff. The hour and a half before training is a bit too much.
Yeah. Players will be prohibited from doing any dangerous activities, like snowboarding or.
Yeah,
that's heard of. Yeah, that's heard of.
Yeah, all this is standard stuff. No motorbikes. No water
Wait,
skiing.
don't stop him going to Napa every summer, get a quad bike.
Yeah, he's obviously come in and he wants to set a precedent, and he's obviously a legend of the club. He's obviously going back to what worked for him, and they were pretty good side when he played. So, yeah.
But they got the financial restrictions, don't they? So what happens now? Because they need to get rid of some players to free up some cash, and obviously they're stuck in financial disarray. What next?
Don't they have a smaller transfer budget than Norwich?
Something like that at the moment, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Something
ridiculous.
Yeah,
but you know what? Something tells me there's an agreement between Barcelona and the Qatar club that he left them for. And don't be surprised if all of a sudden you're going to see Qatari money being slowly pumped into.
Yeah.
Don't they sponsor Barcelona Qatar Airways?
They do, don't they?
Yeah. But
Was it Rakuten now?
Oh, yeah, it might be.
Well, I know they did have Qatar, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
They did have. It probably is
But
recruited. To be honest.
yeah, he's obviously going to get timing because he's a legend. And they're obviously in a bit of turmoil, but they've obviously brought him back in because he knows he won't. Well, I'm sure he'll be under pressure, but not massive under pressure because.
Have either of you read Zlatan's book, I Am Zlatan?
No, not yet.
Because in that book, like, he goes through like the rules that Pep Guardiola set on the team, and that's one of the reasons why they fell out so much. And there was things like they all had to drive an Audi. They weren't allowed to drive anything. Yeah, it was something to do like there was a humble set of rules they had to abide by. They all had to wear the same uniform to training and stuff like that. It was ridiculous, something along them lines. But one day Zlatan had enough and just pulled up in just a flash Ferrari outside the ground and just parked it, left it there, and just did what he wanted to do. So, yeah.
Some teams have like real proper traditions. I remember Arsenal back in the day, the captain choose what shirts they wear, if it's long sleeve or short sleeve, and they all wore the same shirts. Some teams, like Arsenal, Barcelona, Manchester United, they've all got these traditions. And that's why when Solskjaer come back, you see the shirt, the ties, the tracksuits, the staying at the hotel before home games, all that come back. The Manchester United have a tradition. Same with Arsenal, same with Barcelona. But like I say, with a Barcelona legend like that, it's probably the tradition that he played under. So it worked for him, and why is it not going to work for them?
That's true.
Well, I guess it depends on the players that they've got. And
yeah, well, he hasn't got Messi and himself and Iniesta and Ronaldinho, so he's up against it.
Yeah, but the thing is, Guni, you mentioned the shirt sponsorship that they're cancelling it at the end of the season.
Yeah, it looks like you're onto something there. Then
wouldn't surprise me, man. Would not surprise me in the slightest. But then again, that might be a bit of a conflict of interest because Qatar have got money in Paris Saint-Germain. So I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll ask Guni what you asked me before. Does Lukaku need to start scoring goals against the big teams or what, Guni?
I think he does, especially at Chelsea. There's no hiding at this club anymore. He's had the reputation of the quote unquote flat trap bully. And he's got the opportunity with the quality of players around him to make a change. And so far, he's had Man City, Liverpool, Juventus, and one or two others, and hasn't been able to score. So he's definitely
scored against Arsenal.
Do you count them as a big team in this day and age, really? in terms of you know,
you up for that one.
Hey, listen, and I was always gonna take that one because you know what I mean. Because look at it in context, like in today's day and age, bruv, what are they really doing now? These men are gonna be jumping and hitting the roof if they finish fifth and get Europa. What does that tell you?
True. Well, listen, you can when you speak to Troops next, you can ask him, yeah, because Rod's actually gonna do the show with Troops. He's gonna do a watch along.
Okay.
Yeah, see, that's gonna be an interesting one. I think Rod's gonna have the mic on mute for most of the show.
When he asked me, Arsenal were doing shit and we were doing all right. Now it's totally changed. I'm like, fuck it now.
Yeah. Yeah, Rod, do you know what you have to do with him? You just got to keep your foot on his neck. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, but we need to be winning 2-0, not getting beat 3-0. You just put your foot on his neck when we're getting battered 2-0. Imagine if it's like a Liverpool or City.
No, don't worry. I'll back you up. I'll back you up. Yeah.
Don't worry about me. I'll be all right. Just like when I agreed to it, it was like they were doing shit and we were doing all right.
Yeah, but they might just start doing shit all of a sudden. I think their next game is Liverpool. They might bring.
It's at Old Trafford, so.
Oh, are you playing them next, or is it Liverpool next?
2nd of December we play them.
Ah, so they got Liverpool first, then they've got United.
Yeah, we've got Chelsea, then Arsenal.
Yeah, they got to please. I hope Liverpool bring them back down to reality. I hope you do the same. Yeah, because I don't want to see him do well.
After we've finished Watford off, beat Chelsea like we usually do, and then we'll go on to Arsenal.
You see, I'm not going to bite on that one. That's the one I'm not going to bite on.
Bro, listen, very quickly, yeah. What about Timo Werner? What's happening to him? I thought that this season he'd make that step up and prove the doubters wrong, but he's been quite unfortunate. Has he been injured or? Yeah,
he's both Lukaku and Timo have actually been injured. So the last 2 Premier League games we've been without both of them. So it's actually a blessing that this international break has come, because now you're seeing on Lukaku's social media anyway. Not sure about Werner's. I don't follow him. But on Lukaku's social media, you see me starting to train and get back into his steps. So hopefully he'll be available for the next game, which is actually Leicester away. We're going to need him for that one. Timo, I think he was scheduled to be back for the Leicester game as well. So fingers crossed, man.
All right, I'm going to throw a spanner in the works here because I don't want to sound like a Twitter dickhead. But I seem to remember beginning of last season, Rhodri said that Reece James was a better overall right back than Trent Alexander-Arnold and Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Now, do you agree with that?
No, that's a man who knows football. Indeed. Yes, I fully agree, because I have it on record. When Reece James was at Wigan and doing what he was doing, I tweeted consistently that in about 2 or 3 seasons, the conversation is going to be, is Reece James better than Trent Alexander-Arnold? But that's because I've had the advantage of seeing him through the youth academy. And you see it on my Twitter, I say he's my favorite youth academy player. But in my opinion, in terms of like individual specialized things going forward, Trent still is better in certain aspects. So for example, in terms of set pieces, you can't deny Trent Alexander-Arnold was better. His assists and creating goals in that, his output is better than James's. But in terms of like that overall player, because Reece James, as good as Trent is at doing these things going forward, Reece James isn't that far behind him. It's just that Trent is exceptional at those things. But when you come back further back into the pitch and the defending phase of the game, you can see that Reece James is a lot more rounded. He's a lot more reliable defending, like having in one-on-ones, whereas Trent Alexander-Arnold tends to get caught out. You know what I mean? So in that respect, I personally think that, you know, Reece James is the all round in terms of in that position. I think he's the better player than Trent. I'm not ashamed to say that either.
Rod, I don't think your opinion has changed. Do you think Trent has gone backwards this season? Look, I'll be honest, mate. He's had COVID, and that has obviously played its part. That being said, I've always felt that while he's fantastic getting forward, his delivery is second to none. Set pieces is brilliant. Defensively, he reminds me of Carl Walker. He's great at tracking back, but he does the basics wrong. Is that a fair analysis?
Yeah. And it's just something he needs to work on, and Guni's just hit it nail on the head. You know, James is a better all-round player, you know, defensively. So when you get into like the quarterfinals, the semi-finals, or possibly the finals for England, and you've got a choice, you're going to pick Reece James, because yes, he's going to give you stuff going forward, but ultimately he's going to keep it solid, more solid than Trent Alexander. They're both young, you know, they're both going to get better. But, you know, Alexander is far better at assisting going forward. But ultimately, you want a right back who can defend and is good going forward, and that's what Reece James is.
I think it's fair to say they're both like just they're just both good football players. They're just fantastic football players all around. They're both players where you can arguably say, even if you was to throw them in the midfield or even further up the field, they would do a decent job. That's how that's the kind of category that I put them in. I just think they're both absolute ballers. But again, it's just that defensive strength that Reece James has that puts him over Trent. You get me?
The thing is,
and if they both got Stan, if they both got the kind of attitude, they're both from they're only going to make each other better by wanting to have that right spot for England. So they're going to try and be better, work hard to be better every day to be a better player. And Trent needs to do that defensively. Probably knows that, but Trent's got other qualities that he could probably play in different areas where Reece James is, a right back or a centre half, but Trent Alexander could be played somewhere else. But as a right back, you put Reece James now ahead of him.
Okay, let's do a quick role reversal then. Let's say they swap clubs. Okay, who do you think would thrive more? And the reason why I ask this is because I've seen Reece James play at centre back for Chelsea, right centre back, especially in the Champions League final, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, he did.
And we've seen him get assists. We've seen him get goals this season. But do you think Reece James could play in Jurgen Klopp's system and vice versa with Trent at Chelsea?
Do you want to go first, Rhodri?
Yeah, of course he could. The modern day footballers, they can play in a 3, in a 5, in a 4, and I think Liverpool would benefit more because with Van Dijk and James, it'd be difficult, to score against. But then Chelsea would probably gain more offensively.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's a difficult one. That really difficult question.
It's a thing where I don't think either player would struggle in terms of coming to grips with the tactics from each manager. And it just goes back to what I was saying about them two just being natural football players. It's just their footballing IQ, you can see it's there. I think they can slot into each system and still do a good job. And I have to agree with what Rhodri has said. It's like it's difficult to really say which team benefits more because look, Liverpool, they get Trent, they become a little bit more solid defensively, and they don't really lose so much going forward in terms of chance creation because Reece James can do it, and he's only going to improve in that squad. Whereas with Chelsea, going forward, Trent he adds an extra dimension into that Reece doesn't have in terms of the set pieces going forward. He's dangerous at the free kicks. He'll add a few more goals in that area. And defensively with us, if he gets a bit of a difficult time, you've seen how solid the other ones are. And then on top of that, you've got N'Golo Kante, who shields that midfield as extra protection. So Trent might actually look better than he is in our system than what he does in the Liverpool system.
But for me, he's right there. But for me, Liverpool will be more of a solid unit.
Yeah, because of that defensive. Yeah, exactly. I agree. So it's difficult. It's difficult to actually say which team's going to be better.
All right, let's ask one more question before we wrap it up because we've got done well over an hour here. Best player in the world at the moment, is it Mo Salah?
Yeah.
You can't argue against it really. Who else have you got in the conversation who is performing at the highest level, Champions League, Premier League, year in, year out?
I hate to admit it, but it is true though, isn't it? You can't really put anybody above Mo Salah. He's doing it everywhere. He's treating top teams like they're relegation fodder at times. It's
the thing is, bro, he's clear as well. This is the thing. He's clear at this moment in time. He's clear of everyone because I can't think of anyone that's A, in form like him, and B, that can get that amount of goals consistently. I mean, we could talk about Messi, but I haven't seen Lionel Messi do much at Paris Saint-Germain, man.
Yeah, donde está Messi? I ain't seen it.
Have they got a chance to go into the World Cup or no? Egypt?
That's a good question because they're in the African qualifiers, aren't they?
They should be. I'd be amazed if they're not going.
They've got Gabon tomorrow. They're top of the group. They're 4 points clear.
Who? Egypt are 4 points clear or Gabon?
Egypt.
Yeah, they should be. What happened to Portugal, by the way? Are they going to the World Cup or not?
They're going to go through the playoffs, aren't they? They lost 2-1 to Serbia.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that last minute Mitrovic goal and the celebrations.
That's the last team we want in the playoffs. That is Portugal.
Yeah.
Wales, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you've got. Oh shit.
They might play them because they haven't done the draw yet.
Yeah, we've got to play tomorrow first. If we get a good result between Belgium, yeah.
Wow.
If we beat Belgium, we win it. If we draw or lose,
But here's my thing though. Why can't you beat Belgium? Because when you look at it, Lukaku's injured. Eden Hazard is nowhere near any kind of form.
Yeah, Gareth Bale's injured as well.
Yeah.
But we have had good results without Bale. Ramsey's played and always done well without Bale. So you've got a chance, like I say, when you've got Hazard out, Lukaku out, but Belgium is still a decent outfit. But at home as well, you could easily get a draw.
Yeah.
The thing is, going back to Egypt, they drew with Angola the other day, 2-2. So their form going into this one ain't too special. But when you got Mo Salah there, man.
No, but you see how really good he is when he comes to like a World Cup and he's got to carry a team, and you'll that's when the pressures of being a top player will come about, because he's not got the riches of having top players around him at Liverpool. In Egypt, he's got to really,
Yeah, he's got to dig deep. It's a fact.
Yeah. Messi struggled. Ronaldo's done really well. We've seen other past players struggle. It's not easy when you got to carry a team of international players against international teams. It's difficult.
Yeah, they didn't do too well in the last World Cup. I think they lost to Russia 3-1 in one of the games. I think that was their second game. They lost to Russia. But
so that's where I put like people like Messi and Ronaldo. These carry teams. Can Salah?
See, it's a difficult one because at Liverpool, you can't really say he's carried them because they've got goals all over the pitch, haven't they? They got
no. He hasn't carried Liverpool, but that's what I'm saying. For the international team, he's gonna have to.
Yeah, true. I mean, he's got a decent squad around him. I think El Neni's in the squad. They got Amir Varda, who's doing all right in Cyprus at the moment, but I don't know, to carry them. Well, you could just tell by the World Cup qualifying group that they're top of the league by 4 points. But do they have to go through? I don't even know if they have to go through a playoff after that. I'm not sure. Don't know. To be fair, I don't know the African qualifying system, but he's clear as best in the world, though. Yeah, we're going to agree on that.
Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no one's really close, really, is there?
No. Boys, is there anything that we need to discuss that we haven't touched on? We spoke about Dean Smith. We've spoken about Steven Gerrard. We've done the World Cup qualifiers, the European ones. We've done a bit of Chelsea. We've done a bit of Arsenal, United,
Liverpool.
Cyprus getting beat. Yeah, what's new? What's new? Guni, what's new with you, man? In your world, tell our listeners, tell our viewers what's going on with you, man.
Yeah, I've just been doing a lot of work with the Barstool Sports boys. Past few weeks has been busy. Expressions, obviously, you've seen, has been signed by Barstool Sports. He's now here. So I've just been hanging out with the lads a bit. We've just done an episode of Back Again that came out the other day as well. So it's just honestly like I've just been having a good time doing this, man. But now it's going to be a lot of content creation from my own channel for a little bit until a certain group decide to pull their finger out of their ass and treat Guni properly. You know what I'm saying?
No comment. No comment, man. No comment.
Yeah.
Well, look, you're always welcome back on this show, man. You're always welcome back on this show.
Nah, man, come on. This is home. This is like one of the two homes, blood. Man knows football and obviously the No Shof Desh channel, blood.
That's it, man. Come on.
Did I say it properly?
Almost.
How do I do it? How do I pronounce it?
Just put more emphasis on the ch. No
chof this.
No nonsense. No malagueres. No bullshit.
Yeah, man. Honestly, I do miss them conversations. Me, you, Rhodri, Steve has as well. Big up Steve, Man City Steve. I told you. Remember, I don't forget when I saw Steve the first time or second time. I told you it's Chelsea season so far, and look, we're still there. So hopefully, when I see Steve, I'll be able to rub it in a little bit, man. So yeah, big up Steve.
Excellent. Well, before we wrap up, man, do you want to promote anything?
Man Knows Football, the channel. You get me? It's a channel for not just Chelsea fans. It's all fans. At the minute, I'm just trying to keep it at Premier League, but going forward, we're gonna try and expand. But there's gonna be lots of interesting things, and then other projects outside of that. But if you follow the channel, you'll be made aware of absolutely everything.
I will put the link in the description, mate. Don't worry about that. No issues.
Appreciate that.
There you go. Rod, do you want to promote anything? Any social media? Anything? Any adverts coming up soon?
Adverts? No, nothing coming up. Ace Podcast Nation. That's it.
That's a very good podcast, I must admit. I was watching it the other day.
Yeah, you had a little bite, didn't you? Yeah, it's going all right. Ace Podcast Nation, Friday nights, 7:30. Yeah, it's going all right.
Excellent. Now I'll put that link in the description as well. There you go. All right, boys. 1 hour and 20 minutes. That'll be something for people to do tomorrow to watch this show. So that's it, boys and girls. Thank you very much for tuning in. We'll be back next time. Until next time, as I say,